I just want to preface this by saying that I love Forsaken. Forsaken is a goated game. I don't want to sound like a hater or a complainer. I think Forsaken's goated. I just want to say that at the start. I've been seeing some discussion in the Forsaken community on whether Forsaken lore is bad, and for a while I was actually the biggest defender of this lore. Also, by the Forsaken community, I mean Sharky Leo. What? Who said that? I thought it was smart, tied into the characters, but after analyzing some of these points, I've realized that the lore is kind of mid. I know, that's the worst crime you could commit. Something's mid. So today I'm going to go over every character's lore in Forsaken and see if they're actually good. Maybe even give my own thoughts and reviews and critiques and stuff like that. Also, please don't get mad if I get a character's lore wrong or outdated. But knowing this community and how in my last episode I got freaking assaulted for saying color and electricity is overrated, I should have put milestone 4. I'm sorry for all of you 3 color and electricity fans, but the first character's lore I'm going to start off is with So starting off with a bang here, I actually kind of like these guys' lore together. I don't really have much to say about Guest 1337 because he kind of had a whole movie. The last guest was peak, but moving on, the added change of him sacrificing himself was great and actually fit his character. But moving on to Slasher, yeah, it makes sense he was from Area 51 and escaped alongside Slenderman Jeff the Killer, but how? This is probably going to get revealed when Jeff the Killer and or Slenderman comes out, but I think the reason why they escaped Area 51 must be pretty darn good. But also, what happened to the other Area 51 characters, like Eilish or Michael Myers? Are they not canon? Do they just not exist? Who really knows? Also, most of Slasher's lore is just Friday the 13th, so like, yeah. Overall, I think these two characters' separate lores are good, but the fact that Slasher was taken in as a captive after the Guest and Bacon War was actually a really good idea. My main critique, it's just not original enough. Slasher's lore mainly comes from Friday the 13th. With like, hearing the voices of his mother, Kiki Mama. Or Guest 1337 from the whole freaking hour-long movie. Overall, I like these guys' lore. I wonder who's next. So, Elliot's lore, while minimal, is just not that good. So, apparently back in the day, Noli and 0077 were hacking buddies who often raided and hacked Builder Brothers Pizza. And when Cool Kid, who I will get to later, used his father's hacks to attack Builder Brothers, it ended up that Elliot banned Cool Kid, which is like his whole sin, because every character in Forsaken had to have sinned to get into Forsaken, into that, like, eternal hell. But, like, Cool Kid killed people. I know he's 10 years old, but I don't think you can be completely oblivious about burning people to death. Like, I think by then you might really, like, 6-year-old, I see it. 7-year-old, 7-year-old, okay. People around that age, kids around that age, I can see them doing that, but this guy's 10, which, yeah, he's young, but I don't think he's brain dead. Actually, no, I take it back. Cool Kid might be brain dead, but, like, Elliot was completely justified in banning Cool Kid, and they're trying to make this big, like, deal out of it. Like, he banned a kid. Cool Kid, it's played up like he has no idea what he was doing, but I feel like Cool Kid had every thought in his mind when he went through that. Like, of course, actually, you know, I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna get into Cool Kid's lore later. By later, I mean that. So 07 and 7 and Noli were basically hacking pals for a while, till 7 and 7 had a change of heart after an abandoned red child was left at his front doorstep. Bro might be Mr. Krabs. Now, I just gotta say, I think the story's adorable between 7 and 7 having a change of heart and raising Cool Kid. I feel like just overall in the lore, these stories would work better as TV shows or in animation. But, and like, that's why I think S1337's lore is so good. You get to really see it play out, and like, what am I talking about? I still need to watch that movie. I'm so behind. And I also think we could connect to these characters better if we could actually see the lore play out. The Forsaken animated series is an idea. It's out there. You guys can do it. But anyways, besides that, I'm actually a huge fan of this lore. I know a lot of people dunk on this lore, like, why does it make sense that Cool Kid went from a group of hackers to a 10-year-old kid? But I think it oddly works here, the way it ties into 007 and 7. But also, like, quick side note here, the guy behind 007 and 7's account deserves so much better, you know, if you know. But anyways, after attending Cool Kid's favorite pizza place, Builder Brothers Pizza, Cool Kid uses his dad's hacks to essentially make the place into a living war zone. After Cool Kid gets its own freaking criminal record at the age of 10, he goes missing. What a shocker. And 007 and 7 doesn't back down. I'm gonna just call him 7 and 7 from now on. Doesn't back down and tries to find him. Although the Spectre, I might get into a tangent about him later. The Spectre caught him. This then leads to 007 getting Forsaken. God, I hate the word Forsaken. Can we stop playing Forsaken? Okay. Can we stop saying Forsaken? Like, can we just say damned Forsaken? Is that even a real word? Anyways, at this point in the story, 007 and 7 was trampled by guilt and kind of banged himself, if you get what I'm saying. But it's just this is kind of edgy, like, but this is the old lore. It's outdated now. I think it's fine. It's just a little edgy. And in the new lore, this one got replaced. 007, I'm gonna take this quote from the official lore. 007 and 7 doesn't get up, and the guilt gets back to him. Like, that's just really anticlimactic. Like, him ending it all is kind of edgy, but like, this is like so boring of a resolution to his lore. But I like this story because of how many little tidbits and like little segments are integrated through the story and little fun facts about it. Like the fact that 007 and 7 wears the shirt he does because Cool Kid found it funny. Or like how Plead is an absolute banger and nobody will tell me otherwise. Or also how when Cool Kid kills the 007 and 7, instead of tossing him away like all the other survivors, Cool Kid just softly sets him down. And in his milestone 4 kill animation with 007 and 7, he hugs him to death and then kills him because of the frickin' Spectre. And these are just really nice little details that help expand this lore. And overall, I think this lore is very well done. But please, there's the devs give so much attention to this lore. Dusakar and Builderman are starving. Okay, I know I'm about to make a lot of people mad here, so I am scared to check the comment section when I upload this video. But Shedletsky and 1X's lore is awful. Don't get me wrong, I think Shedletsky and his slash missing glory is awesome, but this lore just makes no sense. So apparently 1X is Shedletsky's embodiment of hatred, malice, and everything evil. And it is also implied that 1X killed Shedletsky, and Shedletsky creating 1X is why he's in hell in Forsaken. So let me just start off by saying, what does it mean by Shedletsky made 1X? Like, did Shedletsky's an admin, so did Shedletsky one day get really bored and thought, hey, you know, I'm really mad, so I'm gonna take everything mad out of me and turn it into a known creature? Like, that's so dumb. Did Shedletsky just spawn 1X out of thin air? Did 1X just appear because Shedletsky has anger issues? Like, I've even tried looking through Shedletsky and 1X's lore on the wiki. Nowhere does it say how 1X just appeared. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, I guess this is a fine idea, but I also think Cool Kid and 7's lore and how those two accounts that are similar tie into each other. I don't know it officially, but I'm pretty sure in like official Roblox lore, yes, Roblox has actual lore. 1X and Shedletsky have something to do with each other. I don't know what. But come on, man. I feel like they could have integrated this way better. I know they're doing a whole rogue admin thing with Doombringer, so maybe they could have thought of something else. But to me, this isn't a very intriguing lore, and it doesn't really make sense. Anyways, this is not gonna go well, but so in order to know about Chance's lore, we have to talk about two characters, iTrap and Mafioso. Mafioso is gonna come back later. Don't you worry, Mafioso players. Kind of an overrated skin. I also want to preface this by saying iTrap's lore may or may not be canon. We don't really know. It is currently unknown if iTrap is going to be a killer or a survivor, but please, Forsaken devs, make him a killer. It would be so cool to see like an LMS between Chance and iTrap. Maybe that's why there's no LMS between Chance and Mafioso, you know, that's all I'm saying. So Chance is a gambling man. He owned a family casino and previously made good friends with the Mafioso called the Sonalinos. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. And after Chance stumbled across iTrap at a casino, they eventually realized they both had a lot in common, even becoming close friends. However, the only reason iTrap became friends with Chance is because iTrap believed that Chance and his family held the keys to the Bandlands. iTrap tried to do everything he could to get Chance's wealth and get into the Bandlands, and then dispose of Chance afterwards. He even tried to get Chance into doing Russian roulette so that he could go himself, if you get what I'm saying. The stint ends with iTrap's primary weapon, the Darkheart sword, killing Chance. Because, you know, if he can't kill himself, then just kill him. That's the motto I'll always live by. No, don't take that out of context. Now, I think this is actually very good lore. We actually have motivations on why iTrap wants to do what he's doing, and how we get to like see like why iTrap is doing this. It makes sense, and he's like not a good person. He would make a good killer, and with his Darkheart sword, I think he's a really good killer. But how could we possibly mess this up? Oh my gosh, where do I even start? I'm going to be the only person ever who's going to say this, but I think the lore with Mafioso, it's not that good. The fact that they gave Mafioso the spotlight instead of iTrap is insane, but anyways. Chance was once on good terms with the Sonalinos Mafia. I still don't know if I pronounced that right. That is until one day Chance rigged the game and stole the money from the Mafia. Now clearly this made the Mafia mad and tried to hunt down Chance. Now this is an interesting premise, but it doesn't go anywhere with it. Chance had no real motivation to rig the game and take from the Mafia because he's been good friends with them for years. Sure, it's been shown that Chance is very lucky and can get away with a lot, but he has no real motivation here. With the lore with iTrap, we can see iTrap's actual motivation and see why he'd do this. I guess it makes more chance why Chance... Oh, I can't speak. It's too late at night for this. I guess it makes more sense why Chance is in hell for robbing the Mafia, but then why is Chance painted as the victim? I mean, it already made sense why he'd be in hell for his gambling, but like, he stole from the Mafia. These guys felt like cool and all. Like, imagine having a Mafia that's friends with you. Like, please. Now, for whatever reason, I went this whole time thinking the Noli and 007 and 7 lore was still canon, but apparently that was changed. But I'm too lazy to change the script, see? So in Noli's original lore, as I've previously mentioned, he was good friends with 007 and 7. They were hacking buddies, and 007 and 7 pressured Noli into taking the Void Star, which corrupted Noli into the beast he is today. And the Void Star was actually used by the Roblox admins to patch viruses, but in the hands of Noli, it corrupted him. I don't know, maybe he's morally not a good person. I really couldn't tell you why that makes sense. This is actually interesting lore, but once again, it's been ruined by the new lore. How fantastic. In this new lore, Noli is an ancient being that uses scripts and backdoors and is a relentless psychopath. I'm like, okay, but it's just so bland compared to his original lore. While the real life Zeus 707 had nothing to do with the Noli myth, this was a fun way to tie in the characters. The idea of him being an ancient myth is more accurate to the real Roblox myths lore, but like, it's just the blandest route they could have taken. I mean, like, okay. And I feel like if the bomber was added to Forsaken, Taph's lore could really be expanded. But as for now, Taph's lore is kinda... Taph was a demolitionist for Roblox, blowing up the houses of players that have passed away or got banned off Roblox. This was until there were riots of the houses being blown up and having people still in them. Now this lore is fine, but very minimal. I also recall that Taph did something really bad to Cerulean, but she's now been replaced with Wanwood, so is that lore still going to happen? I have no clue, but yeah, Taph just suffers from a case of bland and incomplete. Before I get to the last and quite possibly least, I'd like to talk about some characters with very little lore that I feel like could really benefit from this. So now you're about to be, I know what you're about to say. Baldy, what do you mean? These guys have a ton of lore. Guess 666 isn't out yet. We don't know all of the lore. Be quiet. So talking about that lore, for every crap lore entry, there's a pretty decent one. Now, we don't know everything about Noob and Guess 666's lore, as Guess 666 hasn't come out yet, as I previously mentioned. But what we do have is pretty decent. Essentially, Noob and Guess 666 were once good friends. Gosh, what is with these people being once good friends? I'm kind of getting tired with this. However, one of Guess 666 and Noob had a falling out, and now it's presumed that this got Guess 666 banned and Noob felt immeasurable guilt. Now, we don't exactly know what happened, but what we do know is that this is majorly Noob's fault, as she was the one who did something bad. Anyways, we're going to learn more once Guess 666 comes out, so I have to see what the devs are cooking for this one. But it looks like they're actually putting in a real big effort to make this look really good, because they're making like riddles and crap, like they're kind of cooking. So while we don't know too much about John and Jane Doe's lore, we have learned that these two were going to get married, but on the day of their wedding, John Doe was corrupted by the energy. I don't know if it was like a glitch in Roblox or just like corrupted code. It kinda doesn't make any sense. Like, what does just corrupted code mean? I really don't know. And the fact that Jane Doe might not even be a survivor is so dumb. Now, I know this one's been talked to death, but 2 times lore sucks. Now, before I get into an unbearable yapping tangent about how much I hate this lore, I'm gonna just summarize it real quick. So, 2 Time was a part of a cult that believed through sacrifices that a spawn god would grant them a second life, alongside 2 Time's best friend Azure being a part of this cult. Now, I get this is fine lore as of now, but I guess it's a cool way of incorporating the Roblox spawn symbol. That's a whole other ordeal I'll get into later. Oh my gosh, I kinda hate being in this game's community. But apparently the big reveal is that 2 Times stabs Azure and kills him to get their second life. And now I know this sounds like a deep betrayal on the surface, but it's really not. In this story, I really could not tell you one notable thing about Azure that would make you care about him. I don't think he said a single thing in the entire lore. He's blander than a background fish from SpongeBob. At least that guy said my leg a couple of times. So when this epic reveal happens, you end up just not caring in the slightest. Story is also very inconsistent with 2 Time. At times, I'm so funny. They show remorse for killing Azure, but at other times they really do not care. Anyways, I'm not a fan of this lore. Maybe they can retcon it when Azure comes out. I don't know. Anyways, those are my thoughts on Forsaken's lore. What do you guys think about this lore? Anyways, I am scared as hell to check the comments section, so bye.